There are some women who seem to have an almost magnetic pull. It's like everyone who meets them ends up obsessing over them. Her ex, even though he's now dating someone else. Her co-worker, who pretends to be indifferent but watches her like a hawk. Even that other ex she barely even talks to anymore. It's not just one guy. It's a pattern. And here's the twist. It's not always because she's drop-dead gorgeous. It's not because she's got a Victoria's Secret body or a $1 million career. Sure, those things can help, but they're not the engine behind the obsession. There's something deeper going on, something psychological, something primal. Because the truth is, beauty fades into the background after a while. Familiarity dulls even the brightest sparkle. But what never dulls is how someone makes you feel about yourself. And maybe the one thing that truly drives a man crazy, the thing that leaves him lying awake at night thinking about her, is when a woman subtly, skillfully, and even playfully plays with his masculinity. Now, before we dive in, let's make one thing clear. This isn't about manipulation. This isn't about toxic games or pretending to be someone you're not. This is about understanding human nature, the hidden roles we unconsciously take on in relationships, and how, when those roles complement each other, the result can be intoxicating. Let's break it down. Every interaction, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, has a kind of invisible script. Not the words, but the energy, the dynamic, the roles we fall into without even realizing it. Here's the tricky part. Just because you play a role doesn't mean that's who you are. You're not defined by it. But when you choose to step into a particular role, you send a signal, and you invite the other person to step into the complementary one. Think of it like this. You run up to your little nephew, tap him on the shoulder, and shout, "You're it!" Then you take off running. You didn't command him to chase you. You didn't demand it. But just by playing, you created the rules. You invited the chase. And he, smiling ear to ear, accepts the challenge. It's the same in nature. You're biking down a quiet road and suddenly a dog starts running after you. Your first instinct? Pedal faster. But the moment you do, the dog's instincts kick in, chase mode, because you just broadcasted, "I'm the prey, come get me." But what happens if you suddenly stop? If you hit the brakes and turn to face the dog? Most of the time it freezes, confused. That prey signal is gone, so the chase ends. Now, let's talk about relationships, romance, attraction, and the eternal dance of masculine and feminine energy. Some women, and they may not even be fully aware they're doing it, are incredibly skilled at stepping into their feminine energy. Not because they're weak, not because they're needy, but because they understand how polarity works. They understand that when you lean into one energy, you naturally invite the opposite to show up. Not always, but often. So what does that look like? Let's exaggerate it for a second. She's standing on the side of the road looking at her flat tire. She sighs dramatically and says, "Oh no, what am I going to do?" Now, she could probably fix it herself. She's smart, she's capable, but she's not just complaining. She's not playing helpless. She's stepping into a soft, open, receptive role, not to manipulate, but to invite something out of the man next to her. And guess what happens next? He puffs up a bit. He smiles and says, "Don't worry, babe. Your hero is here." It's playful, it's light, but beneath that surface-level interaction, a dynamic is forming. You be this character and I'll be that one. And suddenly, the story begins. When a woman steps into her feminine role, she's sending a message. It's the romantic version of "you're it." She's not asking the guy to fix her life. She's not demanding he be someone he's not. She's inviting him to rise, to show up with strength, confidence, presence. And when he accepts that invitation, something magical happens. The relationship stops being gray and ambiguous. It starts to polarize. It becomes black and white, masculine and feminine, like yin and yang chasing each other across the stars. And the chase, it's electric, it's flirty, it's fun. The longer they keep that chase going, the more tension builds. Hormones rise, desire deepens. It's like a storm that's slowly brewing, and both people feel it, until eventually, the tension reaches its peak. They merge, they connect, they become one. And in that moment, boom, all that energy releases, and they relax, they breathe, they rest in each other, they stop chasing. But only for a while, because what happens next? They begin again. The polarity returns, the game resets, the dance continues. And this beautiful, ancient, psychological, and spiritual dance is what so many people are unknowingly starving for. Women who know how to create this dynamic, not through force but through flow, often leave a trail of obsessed men in their wake. Not because they're manipulative, not because they're playing games, but because they understand the rules of energy. They understand that attraction isn't just about looks, it's about contrast, it's about tension, it's about creating space for someone else to step into their power. That's what causes obsession. And once you understand that, you'll never see relationships the same way again.